Welcome Strategy Battle Gamers to another GBHL YouTube production. As you can see in front of me, we have Jamie, and this is a special video. And as you can see, Jamie's got quite a big, happy looking grin on his face. Why are you looking so pleased, Jamie?
Because I won the tournament up in Stirlingshire.
Woohoo! Congratulations.
GBHL.
Well done. Yep, representing Team GBHL, all that training that I gave you.
You doubted me, James.
Again,
okay, it was motivational.
But it worked, didn't it?
You doubted me. You're like, I don't think he's got the killer streak. I think he's lost that. I think he could do well, but I don't think he'll win.
Yeah. Oh. Did it work?
Nearly swore.
Yeah, swear box at the ready.
Yeah, it did.
Now this is a very special video because it's an opportunity for Jamie not to gloat, but to actually go through his tournament-winning army, which will be really interesting for me and for everybody else. Now this was an 800 points tournament, wasn't it?
Yep, this was really difficult to write for. 800 points is sort of a limit that you don't typically play at, and I was never sure, is my army big enough, do I have the right heroes in there, and I was actually going into the tournament, I was changing my army sort of like every half an hour or so. I was thinking of a new list. But these are the ones that I decided to settle on.
Now it was a 2-army tournament, so you had to take
both a good and an evil force.
Brilliant. And what did you go for?
For my good, I did my tried and tested wood elves. Yeah, tried and tested. And for my
tested
evil,
against what?
Tested against, you know, other wood elves.
Anyway.
For my evil force, I took Gundabad goblins with some orc supports.
Fantastic. Okay, so if you want to talk us through your 800-point wood elf list.
So for my 800 points, my heroes, I only had 4 of them. I had Legolas with an armour and cloak. Galadriel, not this version, the magic version. Unfortunately, I don't own the miniature, and people were happy enough for me to use this one. Haldir with just an elf bow, so unarmoured, and Thranduil from the Lothlorien list, and he was my army's general.
Fantastic. And back here.
Okay, now I'm pretty certain it's been a while since the actual tournament, so I've got them as close to as I can remember. I missed an spear here, but in 2 warbands, it was 3 guys with elven blade, 1 with an axe. You can see the conversion here.
Nice, and you would do that conversion because
I needed some extra hitting power.
Yep. So this is with the piercing strike special rule.
Yes, yeah. There was no real negative to me losing the defense because I would get killed on 4s anyway. So I thought, why the hell not? I might as well get some strength 6 potentially in my force.
Yeah, and did that actually pay off in the tournament at any point?
It did. In the games versus Ed Ball, when I was fighting his ring wraiths, I was piercing striking to try and increase my strength to only be wounded on 6s instead of 6s by 4s. And it did work for me.
Fantastic. And are we seeing quite a bit of that on the tournament scene now? Like people doing those kind of conversions, weapons conversions?
Not really, no.
Not as much as you think?
Not as much as I think. The only force I've seen it done on a mass scale would be Hobbit James Braun's Gundabad force, where he took 1/3 axes, 1/3 swords, and 1/3 flails.
Fantastic.
Yep.
And then
the rest of that warband was 8 spears. I'm missing one here. Oh, there he is. And that was duplicated again for Thranduil's warband. So they were led by Galadriel and Thranduil.
Fantastic.
Haldir's warband was the smallest in the army. It only had 10 models instead of the full 12. And that was 5 wood elves with spear, 1 with an axe, and 4 with bow and spear. And this was sort of like just, I've got points left, what's the most efficient I can get? So I used the 4 here to max out my bows and spears and an axe, because spears are great with their shielding parry wall. Then Legolas was the sort of archer leader with his 12 elves with bow and spear, and these are just the standard elves, not Mirkwood Guard, so they were hitting on 3s.
You didn't do the upgrade?
No, didn't do it in the end.
And what particular reason would you give for not doing the upgrade?
I had 16 regular bowmen, so the upgrade for that cost 32 points, which is about 4 elves, if not more. Yeah, about 4 elves, so the trade-off wasn't worth it for me, in my opinion.
Okay, fantastic. Now, let's just have a little bit of a look here. So, give us the reasons why you would bring each of these heroes.
Right, Legolas was taken because he's great at one-shotting heroes with his 1 true shot, and for increasing my bow shots per turn with his 3 shots. Plus he's a good 3-might hero with 3 fate. I took Galadriel because I was aware at the tournament there would be lots of Harad forces. Now, as this is playing good versus evil, you're going to be playing against those Harad armies, and since they can take 50% bows, and they'll be hitting on 3s with Watchers or the upgrade, I'm wounded on 5s, I needed her blinding light so I could keep myself in the game. Haldir,
what does Blinding Light do?
Blinding Light makes sure your opponent hits on 6s to hit if you're within 6 inches of the caster.
Fantastic.
I took Haldir because I had some points left at the end. Well, I had about, I think, about 200 points. And he's a good cheap hero who can shoot twice with 3 might. I was torn between him and Rumil, but went for Haldir in the end because of his 2 shots per turn. Thranduil is brilliant with his 12-inch terror if it's channeled, the Circlet of Kings, and being able to do an automatic Nature's Wrath on a 6 meant I could knock stuff over quite easily.
Fantastic. And then you had your game against Ed Ball.
Yes. The game against Ed. Now,
what does Ed bring?
Ed brought 4 Fell Beasts. He brought Kamul, the Dark Marshal, the Undying, and the Knight of Umbar. And he also had a Spider Queen. Spider Queens are horrible to play against anyway, but circling in that force, it was really nasty. I'm just going to be quiet. I'm not going to lie, I got very lucky in this game.
This was a decider.
This was... I was in first place, Ed was in second place. It's the last game of the tournament, and I was really up against it. The game was to the death. Neither of us had banners, so it was all going to be about general and breaking. And if you know how Felbeasts play, they're able to break a force very easily and kill off single models also very, very easily. I had to kill the Undying and break a 5 model all hero force, and I wasn't looking forward to the game, in all honesty. Ed charged in turn 1 and managed to sap Gladriel of all her will, but I didn't resist with the free one in the store of any of those spells, so had that one free dice. With that, I tried to transfix the Undying to try and draw out some will. I think he successfully resisted. Then I ran Thranduil into range of 3 of the Fell Beasts, because if I ran out the full distance to reach all 4, Thranduil would have been in a bad position for a heroic combat into him, which they would have destroyed him. Thranduil cast the 6+ Nature's Wrath, and Ed decided to resist with 4 dice from the Undying, because he could easily get the will back. And he rolled a 3 as his highest dice, so even with his 2 might in the store, it went to a 5, and 3 Fell Beasts were knocked over.
Whew.
So a huge sigh of relief and cheer went up around the room when that happened.
Did everybody get behind you at that moment?
Oh yes, and everyone was rooting for me anyway, I think.
Why do you think people would be rooting for you over Ed Ball? He's a lovely guy.
Ed's a lovely guy, and the army he takes, people get quite frustrated at it because of how elite it is and how well he plays them. Basically, Ed's taken this army, I think, for about the past 6 years to tournaments, and I think people are honestly getting a little bit tired of playing against the same force. Yeah, sorry Ed. That's my truth. It's my first game.
Tough to play against.
It's very tough to play against, and
he's very good with it.
He's very good with it. He knows exactly what he's doing, and I don't look forward to playing that army.
However, that's probably given you one of your most memorable moments in a game
yes,
ever.
Yes, it has, yeah. In fact, there was a bit of Fundam on the Facebook page about this. Someone drew that moment very poorly in paint, and I'll put it up over the video here so you can see that picture.
Yeah, that'd be good.
But yeah, it's probably one of my most memorable moments in gaming, was that knocking over 3 Fell Beasts.
So in your force, who was effectively your man of the tournament?
Man of the tournament? You know, I'd give it to Haldir.
Haldir?
Haldir was the underdog of the heroes, but he was there and able to give 3 mites to do whatever I want with. I wasn't going to use it to boost his shooting rolls like Legolas. Thranduil had to keep his to keep him alive, and Gladriel was using hers to boost spells. And Haldir was able to just go around unchallenged because he's the minor of all the heroes, and he was there to do heroic combats, heroic moves, heroic marches when I needed to. He was really the utility for my force.
Yeah, he's just the grey man. He did all of the basic jobs well.
Yeah.
Now this is a tournament in which you needed 2 armies.
Yes.
So it wasn't just all about the elves.
No.
Not all about the elves.
Although the elves did win all 3 of their games.
Yes, whereas the goblins...
Won 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3.
Yeah.
So, if you want to talk us through your Goblin Force?
The Goblin Force? Well, I'll start off... This is the Witch King on Fellbeast. Unfortunately, I didn't bring my Fellbeast with me today, so he's not here to accept his prize of winner. He was 3-16-3 with the Morgul Blade on Fellbeast, accompanied by 3 Orcs with Spear. These guys have got ragtag stuff because I haven't got the right models with me. I also had a Shade, with an Orc banner.
Whose is that shade?
That's your shade, James.
James the shade.
To go with the James. He was there with me in spirit. Accompanied by, I believe it was 11 spears, orcs with spear. In the Goblin half, my general was Groblog, who grants that 5+ Fury save without these guys having to use Might as if it was channeled. And in each of these warbands, there was 6 Gundabad's and 6 Goblins with spear, 12 of which here had bows on them as well. And that was to give me the option to shoot if I needed to.
And what are the strengths of an army like this?
It's all about the synergy in combat. So you've got your Shaman providing the 5+ Fury. You've got a fight 2 front line who are always going to feint because they might as well to get that rerolls to 1s, unless they're against dwarves or elves, and then they get that anyway with their special rule. But their defense 6, strength 4, and with the 5-up save, they don't go down too quick. The shade behind makes your opponent's dice rolls, I think it's going to fall over, -1. So on a 6, these guys win their strikes, or win the fight. So they win more often than they don't. And with the banner there, you're sort of even boosting that even further. The Witch King on his Felbeast was sort of my distraction away from the fighting that was going on. People hide their heroes from a Felbeast with the magic capabilities, and the guys can just chomp through enemy lines. Yeah.
And that's how it all works. That's all of it.
The Fury was great in some of the games as well because you don't need to take your courage tests, and in games where you break, well, I think all the games ended at 25%, and if I did get broken, I was going to carry on without having to worry about, my heroes getting pinned down and goblins running away.
So who did you come up against with your goblin armies?
I came up against the tournament organiser, David Reed, who pretty much his Sentinels and Stormcaller took my shade right out of the game by making it take courage tests and running off, which is very frustrating. But the Fury and the fact my guys have defense 6 mainly really just ground down his elves, and I was able to take the centre in take and hold. I played against Samuel Jeffrey with his Arnold Force, and this was the army that I lost against. Sam and I couldn't work out, besides sort of bad dice, why his Warriors of Arnold were able to just rip through my goblins.
Really?
Yep, in all effects I should have, we both got the 5+ save because he got Malbeth. He's got -1 to his dice rolls because of the shade. I've got a banner, and I wound him on 5s, whereas he wounded me on 6s. Yet he still managed to rip through, and my front line was gone in a few turns, and we were amazed. I also made a mistake with the Felbeast of using all the 3 mights after rolling a +1 to try and resist Sorcerer's Blast on a 4, and I should have just let that go and accepted the Felbeast getting knocked over. And my other game, who was that against? Was it one of the Scots? What did I play against? Can't remember. It's gone from me. Don't know. I played against Alan Liddell with this because he was amazed at how good the shade was. I can't remember who I played with Moldwood Elves.
Ah.
Yeah.
Poor them.
So what's that?
Poor them.
Poor them. Yeah. Sorry guys.
You don't have the best memory in the world, do you?
No.
Not the best memory. So 2 completely different types of army that both need completely different styles of play.
Yeah.
Which one do you prefer out of the 2?
Out of the 2, I prefer my Wood Elves. I feel they're a bit more of a tactical challenge. The fact they're so weak, you got to commit when you feel confident to. Whereas these guys, they want to get stuck in straight away, and I prefer the playstyle and the heroes with the good force.
And what would you say was your most important, most valued unit for your goblins?
Who would I say was my most... it's going to be a combination of the Shamans and Groblog. The Shamans for their Fury, and the Groblog for making it a 5+ without them needing to expend mites.
How many points do you think you get back per game?
If you're going off technically, it's 1/3 back from all the goblins, so if I've got...
Yes, it's making a big difference.
It's essentially, it should be an extra warband with a 5-up save.
How did you find playing at 800 points?
800 points was odd. I liked the size of the games because you can bring the heroes that you want to bring. It was odd. It sort of wasn't as big as 1,000, obviously, and therefore you lose the extra warband. Yeah, 800 points was good. I enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it. And how about the tournament itself? How did the guys up in Scotland
get on?
The
tournament itself was brilliant. The guys in Scotland really welcoming. They made us feel at home. They took us out for a pint and a meal afterwards. It was the best places to go. We met some of the locals who weren't too happy with us being English.
Oh no.
There was a bunch of kids in the street, and the Scots we were with, I think they felt quite embarrassed by the fact that we'd gone up to Scotland and then we're getting harassed.
Really?
Yeah, there's like a kid throwing up, screaming at us.
What kind of things was he saying, or can you not say them on camera?
I don't want to say them on camera.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and then whilst we were actually in the
That's a shame, we love the Scottish.
And we do. They're great. I hope they come down to us and support us in April.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
April. In April. And then also when we were in the restaurant eating our meal, there was this Scottish guy, very, very drunk, tried to pick a bauble off their tree and just pulled the tree over.
Oh my days.
Baubles smashed everywhere. And he just kind of looked at it, in his drunken haze, stumbled out the door. We were like,
the fun that you can get at tournaments.
Yeah, so we got up and helped them repair the tree.
So would you recommend people attend a tournament in Scotland next year?
Yes, it's a long way to go, especially if you're down south, but it was brilliant. The hall was amazing, the food was great, and yeah, the guys are really friendly. So yes, I'd definitely go back. Plus,
So?
I've got to,
Yeah, you got to keep
gotta
the
my
baton
title.
going.
Keep my title.
Keep your title
King of Scotland.
for the Great British Hobbit League, representing the team, Jamie.
They won the event down here last time, so it was only right that I went up.
Oh, did they? Fantastic.
Yeah, Alan Liddell won it last time.
So today we've been able to see the two forces which Jamie was able to win the 800-point tournament with. Let us know what you think about his force, or maybe just comment and say congratulations. Happy strategy battle gaming, guys.
Support your Hobbit hobby.